Blades fan Joel says, even Chris Wilder won't save this team from relegation. Mike says, that was a really bad performance. Only Hamer and Tanganga can walk off proud. Welcome back to 20 minutes of Sheffield United chat. This week, we're asking a big question. Are Sheffield United really going to be involved in a relegation fight? Is it that bad? And just how big of a job has Wilder got on his hands? What formation should he be going with going forward? And is it time to drop Sidi Peck? All of those questions to put to our panel. Plus, we're asking you in the comments, which player deserves any praise from what you've been watching so far this season? Delighted to have back with us our expert panel, Connor, Dan and Shaq. So thank you very much, of course, for watching. We're trying to get up to 800 subs. If you can help us get there, if you've got 20 minutes of time a week you can spend listening to another Sheffield United podcast, we'd be so grateful if you can press that button and help us grow. Right, Connor. Oh God, where do we start? First of all, Wilder's back. Let's start with the positives. It was a sensible decision. The past 6 weeks we can put behind us, and yeah, are you optimistic that this can be turned around?
Well, I feel if any man could do us a job, it'd be Chris Wilder, obviously. I feel he can identify where our weaknesses are, and I'm pretty sure he'll have seen that from Charlton game. Like he said, he probably what he said before game were a bit optimistic after his evaluation at squad. So we can only hope, really. But in grand scheme of things, I'd rather have Wilder in charge, because obviously Sellers, he played the same team every week, didn't seem to change formation or how he set up, and he just kept going with it regardless, and we just kept losing. So we needed to make changes. It's not going to be an easy job as many think. Everyone just seemed to think, oh, Wilder's back, yeah, we're going to go and win 3-0. Everyone was so positive. Fair enough, we want to be positive and be optimistic before game, but everyone just seemed to think everything was just going to change just like that. And you can see in just them few months that Selly's been in charge, he has done some damage. He really has got blood on his hands in terms of this squad.
Okay. Yeah, Shaxx, in some ways the Brave called it an arrogant performance from an arrogant group of players that are continuously being clapped off and lauded for bad performances by gullible idiots. Yeah, are they arrogant, the players, or are they just bad?
I've not used that word, but I'd say that's fair. Yeah, I think a bit of both. I think a lot of them, or quite a few of them, think they're better than what they are. Yeah, I'd go along with arrogant. I'd say that word's fair for a few of them, but a few of them are bad as well. There's just so many. Touched on it under Sellers. I don't think it matters who manager is. If you chuck in three out of 10s, 4 out of 10s in, it don't matter if you've got Sellers, Wilder, Guardiola. You're not going to win games of football, and that was proved yesterday, because Wilder was manager yesterday, picked his own. Didn't change much. I thought he might have changed a bit more than what he did, to be fair. It was pretty much Sellers' side in, Sellers' formation, and we got a Sellers performance. So I don't think it matters who manager is if that's what you're going to turn out, if that makes sense.
I mean, Shaxx, you've seen some bad Sheffield United sides. I mean, do you believe you're in a relegation fight?
100%, 100%. Not 100%. Not because I think necessarily that we're that bad, because we are bad, but we're not horrendous. But you look at Charlton. I mean, if you can't turn a performance in with 30,000 at home against Charlton, we're also going to be struggling down there. If that's the best that you can put on, then you're going to be in trouble. It proves it. Look at league. We're not scoring goals and we're not keeping clean sheets. So yeah, 100% we're in a relegation battle. I don't see. I think it's Oxford next week. We're going to Oxford at Hull away. We've got them to come. They're scoring goals, and like Oxford scored 3 today. Hull scored a few yesterday. I think how are we going to outscore these teams? So yeah, we're 100% we're in a relegation fight.
Dan, Sheffield United aren't going down, are you? You're too good to go down.
I've never really believed that saying, too good to go down. I think you deserve, if you finish in bottom 3, you deserve to go down, don't you? And at the moment, unfortunately, I think Connor covered it in what he said. Sellers has got blood on his hands from the players he's picked. You can see that some of them players are just absolutely shot to pieces, and some are just, I mean, they're not crap players, are they? Because we saw that last year. But I don't know. A lot of this comes back on the owners for me. They made this decision. They allowed this to happen. They're the ones that's going to have to hold their hands up at the end of the season when it does happen, because I believe it will happen. And they've got to say, look, we've done a Birmingham here, and unfortunately we've not backed him enough. Because those players yesterday, all they did, Charlton, they came, they set up, they're a big team, big strong team, and we kept trying to put ball up to Tyrese Campbell in air. And for what? Easiest performance I'll ever have. We've had one shot on target. But on the flip side of that, other than the goal, Michael Cooper's made one excellent save. And, I think, I do think we're in a relegation dogfight. I think he's got to get to January and still be in it to try and change it, because there's too many players not good enough. And I don't know. I don't really know what else to say, because for me, at this moment in time, we're not going to finish anywhere else other than bottom three.
Some statement, Dan, isn't it? Considering he finished 92 points only 3 months ago.
It is, and he's come back in. He's come back in, Chris. He's played the same formation, what got him them 92 points. But the players are so different in terms of the way that they are now. That they've got there's nothing there. There's no creativity. The only good thing about the side from Saturday was I thought we were organised. I thought that the two centre halves especially were very good. Alex Matos had a good game. Other than that, I don't think anybody could hold their hands up and say they did well. Really.
It's the formation we go to next, Connor, and there's been a lot of discussion of this online about, look, Mike says here, what formation does our Chris do then? I think we know the personnel he likes. However, I'm split on whether he moves to a 5 at the back or not. We got 92 points playing the sort of 4-2-3-1 variation, but what does he do? Charlie added on here, hopefully a formation with Andre Brooks and Callum O'Hare. Because to play that, you've got to have a strong left back and right back, haven't you? And Ben Godfrey, sorry to say again, he's not a right back.
No.
So you've got more centre backs at the club. Does that mean that we have to go to a 5 now?
I'd like to see it, just to see how we play. And like you said, we've got that many options at centre half now. And I think in terms of right wing back, definitely don't put Godfrey there. I think he'd be a lot better in a right centre back role. Put Ogbenia on right wing back role. We've got Burrows, who's going forward all the time anyway, so I think a left wing back role suits him more. And then it's that midfield. We need to pack that midfield out, and I think having 3 in midfield are a bit closer together. And it's just getting that midfield right. And I think one of the struggles we're going to have is finding the right players, because our best centre mid duo is Arblaster and Tom Davis, and unfortunately Davis is never fit, and we're still yet to see obviously Arblaster get back into the team before he can even build his match fitness. So it's either getting them back or waiting until January, and by the time that happens, it could be very, very late.
Yeah. So some people have put out that what they would do, Shax. I mean, I know everyone's a manager at this point, but Blade says here I'd go 3-4-2-1 with Godfrey, Tanganga and me, with and Sariki and Burrows, Peck and Matos in the middle with Ogbena and Hamer. And what would you, or maybe McGuinness in the middle, he says, and Tanganga on the right instead of Godfrey. But would you go along with that, or?
Dan mentioned it earlier when he said about Charlton were a big physical side. We're not a big physical side, so I'm not too bothered what formation we play. Just the personnel. We need men in there. I'm fed up of watching like lightweight, like children running around. I mean, I know I've talked about O'Hare before. He's just got strength of cowpole. He's running about with a bobble in his hair yesterday, affecting absolutely nothing. Louis Barry, another one, pointless, scared of tackles, too small, too lightweight, too ineffective. So you can put him in that bracket. And we need blokes in there. We've got rid of Anel, we've got rid of Souza, 2 big, strong physical presences, and we've replaced them with not 2 big, strong physical presences. Tanganga, you could argue, was coming for Anel, but he's not 6'3", 6'4", whatever Anel were. And Souza, my God, I can't think of a player I mean, I've seen us lose players like Illiman and Dye, Morgan Gibbs-White when he's been on loan, Dean Henderson in goal. I can't think of a player we've lost and a team just looks so different from losing one player. The work that Sousa must have done to babysit them, I'm going to call them children because that's what they are. The work that he must have done to babysit them all season must have gone so underappreciated, undervalued, underseen, whatever word it is that's right. I'm sure there'll be comments saying that that's wrong, but Sousa literally must have babysat that lot, because when that ball goes into the middle of our park, it is frighteningly embarrassing. You've got O'Hare, like I just said, gust of wind, blow him all, he's gone. You've got Aimer, all these good fours, a yellow card. He'll have a run alongside someone and then he'll just get a pointless yellow card. Usually early he gets that yellow card, so that means he can't put a tackle in rest of the game, so that's him gone. Matos, he looked all right yesterday, but again, he's a bit like Sousa in that he can't do it all on his own, and his help should be Peck. And I'm sorry, but Peck this season, he was my player of the season last season. This season, no chance. He's another one that you can chuck in that bracket. They don't get tackles in, they don't move ball quick enough. So for me, while ever you've got that central midfield being as weak and as just I don't know what you two saw, but that central midfield is absolutely, it's just embarrassing, and that's why we'll be in a relegation battle, because every team we play this season will have a number 10 that creates, that's big, that's strong, that gets involved. Every single team will have a defensive midfielder or somebody sat in that middle who's your big, strong lad. Or it goes anywhere near him, boom, he's took you. We ain't got that. It's just embarrassing. Ball goes into the middle of our park and it's just turn around, do whatever you want. It happened at Middlesbrough away. That's when it were most evident. I know it's a different manager now, but they played one ball from right back or left back straight to that central midfield, and then they kept picking them wingers out time and time again with passes, because we've got no one. We've got nobody with any presence in that middle of that park.
Just one question on that. Would you include Sidney Peck in that group?
100%. Like I said, he was my player of the season last season, but this season, you're a central midfielder, mate. You've got to pass ball further than 5 yards. You've got to be quicker when you've got ball, and you've got to get your foot in. There were an instance yesterday in second half where I think it was their left. He were in left back position. Black lad with dreadlocks. He were in front of where me and Dan sit on south stand. He just walked through about 4 tackles, and Peck were one of them. He walked through Barrett. He walked through Aimer. He walked through Peck, and then Sarika, another one, don't like putting tackles in. He'd rather just let him run past him and try and catch him in a race. You've got to. We're at home, mate. Put him in stand. Let them know we're there. We don't do that. We're just so lightweight. It's unbelievable.
The big calls, Dan, then. Matthew says here, drop Peck. He's been crap all season. The Blade says we need Davis back ASAP. Him and Samira together is our best option. Do you agree with both of those? Needs to best back.
I do. I mean, for me, I know he was Shaxx as player of the season last season, but even for me, I don't see the hype. I'll be honest. I think I refer to him as backwards, sideways, rah rah rah, because that's all he does. That's all he does. And they would talk about him leaving for Brentford. For me, I don't even think I'd sell him to Bradford, because it's just not for me. What does he do? I mean, you look back at instance for Wembley last year. Everybody's blamed Kiefer Moore. He's on our 18-yard. He's on their 18-yard box. Burrow steps into midfield, ball into Mayenda, 1-1. That's Kiefer Moore's fault. Chris Wilder's fault for not making a change. They want to blame Tom Cannon. They want to blame other people, but he's the real culprit. Somebody outside of me yesterday, all Matos has done is kick it in air. Sidney Peck wants 5-6 touches before he does anything. Doesn't get in my team. Not now. It's got to be. At this moment in time, I'd play Samaria and Matos. What difference is that going to make? Matos has come from, he's had the grounding at Chelsea. You can tell he can play. Little bits and stuff he did yesterday. Wants to get on board, wants to go forward with it. But Peck, even manager, I'm literally 50 yards away from the manager, and 2 or 3 times he's turning back. Why is he turning back inside? Why is he overplaying? Asking Michael Collins why he's overplaying. So it's not just happened now. It's been happening for a long time, and I just sorry lads, I just don't see the hype. I haven't for a while, and there's people that send me snippets of him doing good things, and I can send you 10,000 snippets of him playing grassroots football, having 15 touches and losing it. Ipswich, second goal, 5-6 touches, it's turned over, it's in the back of their net. That's not his fault, though, because he's come through academy. Nah, not for me, mate. Don't get me wrong, City's a good player and got great potential, but he has to do better things. He has to make better decisions. This is why Andre Brooks is not in the team, because he doesn't make good decisions. City Peck don't make good decisions. Balls come out to him yesterday, edge at box. All Charlton players were back on bus, I think, and is it a shot onto back at Cop? And just come on, mate. You could have had 3 touches. That's the difference. And lads at that age making poor decisions, and you've got young Alex Matos comes after 2 games, and lads near me are saying, "Why is he just kicking it up in the air?" Well, listen, it's a different level to City Peg. Let me just tell people that. And for me, it's Matos and Samari until Tom Davies and Ollie Arblasters fully fit. They're the ones I'd go with. What have we got to lose? In my opinion.
Cheers for that, both of you. He's going to sort this out, Connor, isn't he, Wilder? I mean, meanwhile, up at Hull, I don't know if you saw, you've been keeping tags there, but just as Tom Cannon was subbed on, Jake the Blade here just put, Ollie McBurney put Hull 3 up against Southampton. So it's going to keep coming back to this point, Connor, isn't it? About recruitment and the players that have come in, and as great as Chris Wilder is, you can't polish a you-know-what.
Yeah, exactly that. And that was one of the things I was speaking to some fans about on Twitter. And I do believe in Wilder, but the team he had last season compared to this, as Shaq's touched on, just losing Sousa in itself was a massive risk. And then getting a replacement in, it was always going to be a really, really hard task. And then the fact we lose Kiefer Moore as well, we've got no physicality, no presence about us. Just like Charlton, it was so obvious. We couldn't win anything in the air. Our average height must be about 5'6", and it's just really depressing watching team because you just don't even see where a goal's going to come from at minute. I really, really think Wilder is the best person to try and man motivate and maybe get a bit of belief and confidence back into him. But and I don't see where a goal comes from. Never mind a win at the minute. So it's a really big ask. But for me, I feel like the only answer is keeping in touching distance and then hoping we can bring someone in January that can really make a difference.
Okay.
Just touching on that as well, what Connor said there. I mean, about the physicality. And somebody got the formation up a while ago, and Shaq's touched on the physical side of it. Something as daft as sticking Ryan Whalley up front, a little big physical presence. That at this moment in time won't hurt anything either, because it might stick and you get others off him. Just something as simple as that. And when you look back at people having a go at Kiefer Moore, now all around me they all want him back. Just shows you, doesn't it? It's because he'd have been playing. He'd have been starting in these games. But then, on flip side, Tyrese Campbell had 0 service as well.
Yeah. All right, then. Let's see if we can keep this upbeat then next week. A trip to Oxford then on the cards next. We know how Gary Rowett's side are going to set up here, Shaq, don't you? It's going to be... this is going to be a low-scoring game. Definitely under 2.5 on my coupon this weekend. Would you take a point at Oxford just to get it season going?
I've got to a point where I'd take all, 0-0, just all. Obviously, I want to win every game. I had a quick look at their score today. They've put 3 past Bristol, and then I remember when we played Bristol the other week and they put 4 past us. So I'm fearing worse already, unless they make massive changes, and I'm not quite sure. Other than physically, I'm not quite sure what it can change. He needs to somehow pick a team that's going to go there and get some belief from somewhere. But where they're getting that from, I don't know, because they're in the shop what sells it. You can't go and buy that. You've got to just sort of train it into him in week. So I mean, he's had a week with him this week and it didn't work. Let's see if he can have another week and try and get something. But no, I don't think Oxford are mugs by any stretch of imagination. And we're like I said earlier, we're we're in a relegation fight, and they're the type of teams that you're going to be fighting. We think we went to Oxford last year. Sure, we lost there.
It was a start of the week that sent you back down, wasn't it? When you went to Millwall, Plymouth, and Oxford, and it all fell apart.
So teams like that, they're gonna be out to kill us, if you like, because they want to strike while iron's hot, while we're as low as we are. And I don't know, like I'd take 0-0 now.
Okay. Right, last question then this week. Then a bit of a tricky one because we're asking all our teams this week who's the one player that does deserve some credit that perhaps hasn't received it. I can guess there's only Dan Tanganga that I can think of that you want to shout out here for all three of you.
Yeah, I think I've seen things where I know he lacks in height, but you can see why they've paid the money they've played. Is an absolute class above. Little things he did yesterday. I've not seen a defender like him that doesn't get beaten one-on-ones. Unbelievable. His tracking back, his defensive, the way he defends. And to be fair as well, I think I said it earlier, big shout out to his centre-back partner as well, because he just does what it says on tin. Just defends, don't try what he can't do. But for me, Tanganga, different class. Well worth the money already, I think.
Connor?
There literally isn't anyone else other than Tanganga. I mean, everyone has been absolutely shocking. I mean, the only other thing you can say is, Campbell scored a goal, but then again, rest of the season has been awful. So it really is Tanganga. I mean, like Middlesbrough away, for instance, he was literally defending on his own, even though we had a back four, and he kept stopping everything. So there really is only one man that can get any credit, and there's no one that hasn't been heard of, sort of thing, that deserves any credit.
Yeah, Shaq's agree.
None of them. Well, I'm not even going to get Tanganga. I disagree with what both of them have just said. I thought Tanganga goal were his fault. If you watch it back, he's about 25 yards out of position with the rest of his defensive line. I thought Ipswich away, I thought Tanganga were awful. And he were a part of defence, let 5 in. Thought he played well at Middlesbrough on his debut, I'll give him that. But, I mean, I can pick one or two out that have had a decent game, but no, not for me. I'm not giving any of them any credit. I thought Tanganga yesterday, for me, got beat a few times, and then watch that goal back, horrendous. I don't know. There's 3 at back. There's Tarika, there's McGuinness, and there's Burrows, and then Tanganga's literally up where centre mid should be, just completely miles away from where he should be. And if that ball comes across as pathetic as that ball were, he just rolled it across middle. If Tanganga had been where he should have been, it'd have been a simple clearance, but he weren't. He were about 25 yards out of position. So no, I'm not giving Tanganga any credit for that or that Ipswich game.
Okay.
Good player. I think he's a good player and he will come good, but no, I'm not giving him any credit now.
Okay.
I wonder who Tanganga were covering for when he went out into midfield.
Possibly so, but he's still
I know what you mean.
Position, Tyrese Campbell's not scoring goals. I wouldn't expect Cooper to run up and try scoring because then he won't be in his net. So I'm not having that either.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Tanganga, watch that goal back. I'm telling you now, he's 15, 20 yards out of position. And if you listen to Wilder after, that's exactly who he's aiming that at. You can't be that far out of position. It's a simple goal to do if you stood where you should be.
Okay. Right. Thank you three, for your good humour as well. I mean, there's no way Sheffield United are going down. Absolutely no way. I'm not having it. You cannot go from that position to where they are now, even with the amount of players you've lost. Chris will sort this out. No problem at all. You'll finish a healthy 10th, no doubt. Right. We'll catch you the other side of the Oxford United game. Thank you very much, of course, for watching. Drop us a sub and a like if you haven't done so already. Let us know in the comments who of these 3 you agree with, and we'll get somebody shouted out next week. Thank you very much. Have a much better week. It'll be fine.
Cheers, lads.
It'll be absolutely fine.
Cheers, lads.